Hello everyone out there on YouTube and on Twitch. I may have to say that intro again because it looks like my stream stuff is tweaking out a bit. Go check on the stream, but yeah, they do happen. So starting out, anyway, yeah, I think I saw Reese's say something. Oh, has it been happening long? Okay, I'll take your word for that. Say something about people not being very good at spellcasters or whatnot. Yeah, so anyway, don't be afraid about using G-Spirit. The reason why G-Spirit is good is it keeps you alive when you would die. And I know a lot of people are like, yeah, but I lose magic points and then I can't cast spells. Well, if you take a ton of damage, and you're taking a ton of damage, and you're getting to the point where you can't even cast your spells, probably the best thing you can do is not to try to cast another, say, conjuration spell. Probably the thing you should be doing is escaping. So the reason why G-Spirit is good is it gives you a buffer between when your HP is critically low. What's up, Singrador? That's a tough one to pronounce. Sindra Gore. I'm not going to ask for what that is a reference to because I may not like it, but welcome all the same. Oh, Jink is left, so we gotta pause the stream until he's back. I love people randomly dropping "be right back" in a stream. It's like, oh, okay, hold on, I'll pause it. We'll wait till you get back. God, he's taking so long. Where is he? Just call me BMFX. Okay, what's up, BMFX? So I'm going to start out training conjurations, and that's just because that's how we do damage. Magic Dart. This 0. It's an old later stream. I can't. Mom, you don't understand. I can't leave now. If I do the raid, you can't raid the dungeon because I'm like the healer. So 0.26 for those uninitiated has a ton of changes. Can we read the changelog by any chance of anything? Quick start guide. I know there's a thing to read the changelog. I wish I version. Oh yeah, here we go. So I kind of screwed up this release slightly in that I forgot. Oh, never mind. This isn't. Oh yeah, it's there. Okay. So anyway, if you read the changelog of the download, it's not going to be. It's not going to have the date or whatever. It's a small change, but it was stupid. We'll go over the highlights really fast before I start playing. New species Palantonga replaces Centaur. Delver. It has a rolling attack. It has a AC bonus when it takes damage. New background Delver starts you on D5 with a bunch of good stuff. Food and hunger are removed. So if you're watching this video or new to the tuning in, well, it'll come up anyway. Me saying it here isn't going to do anything, but now there's something called a Zot clock that monitors your progress through the dungeon in terms of turns, and if you linger too long in a branch, you'll eventually die, but it gives you a lot of time. So it's basically an anti-scumming system that replaces the food system, which didn't do a particularly good job of that. Yeah, I mean, some would call it a controversial change, but I think anybody who's been seeing how the game has been changing over the years is not too surprised that it happened, because thankfully we just had a couple of developers, propose some iterative stuff. PleasingFungus made the clock. Elliptic kind of said, hey, like, why aren't we just removing food? And Advil was like, okay, I'll just go ahead and do it, and PleasingFungus implemented the clock. So it was sort of just like, we were like, yeah, you know what, let's just finally do it. And some other people did the work. I didn't really have anything involved in this change other than giving feedback here and there. But it's a change that makes a lot of sense for the kind of the current design of Crawl and kind of where it is and trying to be a more modern game. Into a more modern, tactically oriented game that's not about like sandboxy stuff. That's something more on along the lines of maybe NetHack or Dom or some of those other roguelikes that are of the same generation that kind of stay in that area. Like NetHack is very sandboxy. I guess the Dom is about equally sandboxy when it gets down to it. And I think the changed Dom is maybe even going to be more sandboxy possibly. It's something a lot of people want, but it's not what the DCSS dev team wants for DCSS. This is a big one. Quiver spells, abilities, and wands, and fire them with auto target. aka the well, it's you activate it via the P key. There's a all proper RPG. I mean, I don't know what proper RPG means, but I will say that DCSS is not a proper RPG. Probably. We'd have to nail down what proper RPG means. New swamp monsters, will-o'-the-wisps. So swamp was reworked, a bunch of new monsters added. We may get to see them this run. We reintroduced boulder beetles. Yeah, there's a lot of little changes. I could go through them all, but that would take a while. I'll just note them as they happen. But the quiver, you can see that magic dart, my starting spell, is quivered, and I can cast it with the P key. I have a very small starting vault, but I know the area just around the vault is clear of monsters within like a Los radius. So let's try P. I just hit P and it casts a spell and the ball python is dead. I'm a successful user of the new P feature. I'm gonna go check over here if there's more monsters and stuff I can kill without opening a door. I guess I am gonna open a door. Boom. Headshot. Yeah, the Twitch mod system. Oh, is it? Sorry about that. Let me see. Huh. That is unusual. Okay. Thank you for mentioning that. That's a problem. I hope that's not going to be a recurring issue. Okay. That was interesting. It must have just been stale. Yeah, thanks. Always shout out if you see that stuff, because that can happen. Sorry, for anybody who may be watching this from YouTube, you missed me killing 2 ball pythons, and also looking at the. This is what the changelog looks like that I was looking at. You could see a little bit of it on the console screen, but you can, if you want to read the changelog, you can hit question mark and then V. I don't even know. Do we describe that key? Oh yeah, version information, which shows you the version in the top line, and then it shows you the changelog. Very helpful, actually. That's true. You could watch this game entirely from console if you wanted to. Cockroaches do have a little bit of AC. Don't really like your pop-up window location, Chatty. We're gonna have to fix that. Notice that ball python died in one shot very easily. Cockroaches have like a little bit more AC, so they don't die so easily. Level 2 it is. Now we can get Searing Ray, which is a really nice spell. To go slowly on this first floor. It's kind of excruciating, but it ensures that you will not die. Oh yeah, I have random tiles on. I guess I'll leave this on for a little bit so you can see that. It's called random tiles. It's like this RC I wrote that switches you randomly between monster tiles every so many turns. Normally I play with it off these days, but... So Magic Dart is a very effective spell because it's close range. It only costs 1 MP to cast. It doesn't do especially high damage, but... I mean, I can cast it 6 times and monsters don't have that much HP this early in the dungeon. And it's also not resistible. And it always hits too, so it kind of makes up for its relative lack of damage that way. So I'm retreating here just to make sure I have full MP before I fight this guy. He's nothing in it. Let's try Searing Ray. Got him. So Searing Ray like got changed, so it I'm gonna walk away from this guy. He also has like a close range attack, but I wanna when I fight him I wanna have full full MP so I can get off many shots. Those are slow monsters, so you can walk away. You may take a hit, and I don't have I don't have a lot of HP, but okay. At this point, there's not much left on the level. I can probably go ahead and auto-explore. I'm at level 2. Make that level 3. We're going to take Int, just because being able to cast spells is good. You can go ahead and memorize Dazzling Flash. A little bit, we are going to turn on possibly... I could turn on a bit of hexes if I wanted to. It's not the smartest move because it's just giving Dazzling Flash spell power and Fulminant Prism, which I'm not going to be able to use for a bit, but I wouldn't really gain too much out of training hexes right now. I'm going to set a skill target on Conj for, say, let's start with 6 and just see how that goes. Pretty straightforward first floor, really nothing to write home about. This is not the best downstairs because I could get sandwiched when I could be adjacent to 2 monsters who I would come up and I would be stuck. Okay, I'm gonna go back up. The snake couldn't follow me because thankfully it didn't wake up. It looks like these are all the downstairs that I have. That is a lot of snakes. Okay. This is okay because I can kill this guy. Easily and safely. An adder's not too bad with like Searing Ray, but I don't want to fight 2 of them certainly. We're going to be looking to shut this. Shut this again and rest up. We just want to make sure that we don't like to kill that other adder, but we can't get too fancy. Okay, we got him. Now we're just gonna backtrack and pull up this guy, and we attracted quite a few monsters there. It wasn't ideal. We don't have a lot of other resources. I do have Dazzling Flash, but again, it's not that effective of a spell. There we go, 1 adder down. Two adders down. Begin to heal more quickly. Ring of Protection. Hello. I didn't even see the monster that had that. That's a great find, and I'm also lucky that that monster was actually killable. By the way, I hope I'm paranoid now, so is Twitch chat? Okay, good. Just want to make sure. Well, I'd like to find that other adder without like opening up new doors and such. This one is okay. We have all the 3 staircases So we don't have any other backup stairs. We get something really bad. This is it. They're all kind of closest to each other. Oh my dog! Is that a D2 Fedhas altar? I think the role-playing quotient is so very high, a Vine Stalker of Fedhas. I'm not sure I can refuse worship of this particular god. I mean, I'm inclined to just go ahead and do it. I don't actually have a new Fedhas win. I have another trunk game that is progressing, and that's fine. Fedhas is a lot better with like ranged attacks now because the god does a better job of shielding plants from all forms of it. And before it was just like it was fine for beam targeted attacks, but for explosion attacks it was bad. It's a really strong god. You do have to get to 1 star to get a usable ability, obviously. I think. What is pretty sure that's at 1 star. Either way, it's a strong god. Wow, I just killed that with Magic Dart. That's pretty sick. I'm not going to auto-explore on this level quite yet. Take down some jackals. I mean, it's... You know, I can go for it. I was just sort of thinking about whether I wanted to play Fedhas and stuff. Like, this is not really a high... I'm playing this game carefully as if I was on a streak, but it's also not... I'm not actually on one right now, I don't think. Well, I guess I'm on one. If I'm on one, it's like a one... You know, I won my last game, I think. I think I lost the game before. Exactly. Oh, look, it was Fedhas. Oh, that was a stupid loss, too. I remember that. What a dumb loss. So I'm not really on any kind of streak, so I can like be a little bit. Okay, there's Conj 6. Not really that much out of training spell casting. Can lower the fail rate. Yeah, again, dazzling is like... I guess I'll go ahead and get a couple levels of hexes. It's not my favorite thing to do, honestly. What's spell power at? Magic Dart is almost full. Searing Ray, though, has a ways to go. I think I'm actually going to take this at least 1 level higher before I even bother with anything else. But yeah, that's part of it. Is just I'm just like, well, do I want to worship? Because I have a trunk game that's like Fedhas, and that was going to be my new Fedhas win. But oh, see, and this is the other reason why I could have waited. Wow, that's very deep, Woo. I could have waited and gone Woo, which Woo is not bad, but it's somewhat against, you know, if I went sort of more of a melee god, I would have to for sure transition, which is fine with this species because it's a very good, like, you know, it has a really strong Aux attack that applies anti-magic, which is quite good. I think this is our adder that I was searching for like ages. And there's another one. Well, D2. We have slightly better. It's not bad to pick a staircase that's near an upstairs if you want to like go escaping from something that you pull up that's scary. Ooh, see, you're red. Right there on D3. Also a very strong god. Now he is my mortal enemy. Because as we all know, Fedhas and Ured are locked in eternal god war. Guess I should read a scroll eventually. Alright, for reading a scroll, I'm going to... I'm actually going to go towards less... There's one VS a woo, but kind of right. It's the only Mary find Stalker. Oh, is that Charms? Is that what Mary is? Or is that... No, that's Bose, isn't it? Thank you for the follow. Jackaroo96. That's Max Bose, yeah. Rip Charms titles. Gone forever. Oh god, stop it. Stop it. Okay, so I'm going over here in case I read noise. That was Amnesia, so yes, abort the scroll. I'll hold off on the other scrolls until I get like a 2-stack of some kind. Orc Wizard is dangerous. So the problem with fighting an Orc Wizard, well... I'm gonna dink him, and then we're gonna go see if he'll show up again. Did he already lose track of me? Wow. Don't really want to poke my head out very... Okay. Was one aggressively retreating Orc Wizard, I have to say. Problem with... so now I need to look at the message log. Orc Wizard never shouted. Ping all the DCSS server. I mean, you just kind of have to ping all of them individually. The server list will tell you where they are. And then you can look each one up, you know, and it'll give you the host name, and you can ping it. Generally speaking, you want to go off of like where you're located and where the server's located, and that server entry tells you where each one is. Like EU, CXC is in France, I believe. CDO is Germany. CUE is, I forget where it got moved. I don't know where it is now. Is it Amsterdam? Yeah, it's in Netherlands. I haven't played on client in a long time. You're still making down. Yep. You can go to crawl.devels.org. That URL you see there. I don't know if we have a link to the download page or not. Yep. Well, actually, I should update that. That's out of date. Go to crawl.devels.org. Just that domain, and then click on download, and there's a big download page. And yeah, we make the offline client. There's a Tiles client that's offline that it's actually got a different interface than online, and it's got some features that people like actually that are kind of specific to that client. And then of course there's okay. So we do have a orc. Gonna rest and see if we can get him to come back. There we go. Rest up again, and there's another one. In my one shot with Magic Dart, pretty sick. Okay, he vanished, so what I'm gonna do is go up and rest a couple times and then come back. So that was the Orc Pack, and that's what you really have to be, like a D3 Orc Pack is still really scary. I have effectively, you know, like 23 HP, or I'm sorry, 33 HP if I don't, like, use spells, so that means I can't really take multiple. Oh, what is it then? There we go. So I was using Z to cast Magic Dart in a line because I knew that he was going to walk directly toward me. He didn't have much HP left. That's somewhat risky because he could have just like kind of screwed me over. So that was something I just elected to do. Hi Ping. Yeah, we've thought about getting a South American server maybe. Any plans for iOS? We don't. Unfortunately, there's not really good support for mobile at all. The only thing that's been done, there used to be an Android native build that one of the retired devs, Grunt, made, but it quickly fell out of maintenance, and it hasn't been updated in quite a few years at this point. There is a an interface, a mobile interface for Android for web tiles, so you can play with like a better interface on the online server, the online web server. I don't know if that is still, I think that was not being updated recently. Hey, what's up, Bunny? Wow, what do you know? Bunny has bunny emotes. I never would have guessed that. +2 robe of willpower. It was maybe 15, yeah. It worked for a few versions, but we don't have we don't have anybody to maintain it. I mean, I wouldn't be adverse to getting into it. I want to switch. I actually have an iPhone. I want to switch to an Android phone myself. Willpower is now MR. Yeah, that was one of the changes. That's good to hear, Bunny. Yeah, doing good. We just released 0.26. Been doing crawl dev stuff still. I'm gonna put on my robe of willpower. I feel strong-willed. Yeah, PleasingFungus renamed magic resistance, which was obviously a pretty vague term, to something that, like, obviously willpower doesn't instantly communicate the idea of what the effect does, but neither did magic resistance, which did confuse a lot of people because magic resistance doesn't really provide you with resistance to magic. I have poison darts. Did anybody notice that? I really should have potentially used those at some point. So we killed that orc pack. The main concern I had with that was orc priest. If I see one of those, I'm kind of going to retreat because I just can't take irresistible damage of up to 14. Permanent prism still ways away. Not gaining all that much power on Searing Ray. Because orc priests, indeed. Definitely one of the monsters that kills me the most. Oh, okay, so you don't get it until 2 stars. Yeah, so Fedhas isn't a god that gives you a big 1-star ability. You do have to get to 2, but once you do get the ability, it's really good. Briars is really nice. UV4 has, I know he's not been doing videos much recently, but he does have a nice playthrough of new Fedhas, where you can kind of check out some of it, but hopefully if the stream goes well, this will be another. I guess I'm auto-exploring now, but okay. I'll just lure every monster to this Quaz vault. Quaz, you're actually useful because you're, not for your altar, but because your vault has a bunch of shafts, so I can get rid of monsters I don't want to fight. Thank you. I've totally revised my opinion about you as a god.